Hello and welcome to day 2 in Unturned. As you can see, it's a beautiful day out here in the country. This is going to be part 2 of our survival guide. Today we're going to look over skills and crafting. As you can see, I've done some work off screen here. I've gathered up a whole bunch of materials, chopped down a whole bunch of trees, so I have a whole bunch of experience and materials to make the things that I want to make. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look first at the skills tree. So we hit U to bring up the skills menu. It doesn't matter which one of these hotkeys you hit, by the way. You can click between them once you bring them up. There are two skills that it's important that you know about and that you probably want to invest in early and fully as soon as you can. The first one, especially in multiplayer, is exercise. Exercise is going to, at max level, give you 25% additional move speed, and your 250% stamina endurance means that stamina is going to decrease 250% more slowly as you're running. It's pretty important to be able to keep up with people either in multiplayer, co-op, or PvP. So that's something that you want to put in points in early. Now in single player, it may not be as important, although I invest in early, as you can see as well in single player, because, well, moving around more quickly is convenience just all around. The second thing, and this is especially important in single player, is your crafting. The sooner you get all 3 points in crafting, the sooner you're going to be able to craft everything that there is in the game as soon as you have the materials for it, which is pretty handy. Right off the bat, you don't need crafting 3. I, in preparation for this video, chopped down a whole bunch of trees, so I got a whole bunch of experience. So I have, as you can see, I still have 342 points of experience down at the bottom that I haven't even spent yet. So I had the points to spend. If you decide that you would rather do something else first, in single player, you might want to look at survival, which makes your food and water last a lot longer. You can see that I've already maxed that out as well. That's going to be a matter of opinion. What you put points in is entirely up to you, obviously. I'm just giving my recommendations as far as the skill stuff goes. But you definitely want to get the crafting and the exercise as soon as possible because it's going to make your gameplay a lot less painful. Now we're going to take a look at crafting. As you can see, I've already crafted a little house here and a whole bunch of crates to hold my stuff. What you craft first is up to you, although I do have some recommendations as far as that goes. But the crafting system is pretty straightforward. If you hit Y, it brings up your craft menu. And you'll notice that all the things that I have the materials to craft show up at the top of the menu. But there are a lot more things here. Now, everything that you can craft isn't always going to show up in the crafting menu. What you need to have at least one component that is in the crafting recipe. You'll notice that here we have birch bottle. I have the tape, but I don't have any birch planks. So this shows up. There isn't anything here with 00 because if I don't have any of the materials for it, it won't show up in the menu at all. The crafting menu has different categories that, to be fair, don't always make sense. You'll notice that in the tools menu we have your bow and your arrows are also tools, even though arrows are ammunition, and that's probably where you would expect to find them. That's not the case. So it's something to keep in mind. If you don't see what you're looking for right away, you might need to flip through the menus a little bit and try to find them. You can also search for them, but once again, if you don't have the materials or any of the materials, it's not going to pop up when you hit search. The hide uncraftable blueprints, that helps you kind of narrow down the stuff that you already have so you're not scrolling through a big long menu. Since it puts the stuff that I have the materials for at the top of the list anyway, I don't usually check that. I'd rather have everything there, but it's up to you, obviously. So, the things that you want to craft. To begin with, I always craft the floor. Let's go ahead and get out of this menu, actually. Oops. The thing that I always craft first is just a wooden floor. You'll see that I put down here. You can put it on any flat surface after you make it. All it takes is some logs. Oh, when it comes to logs, you'll note that I already got a fire axe. As I mentioned in the last video, going to a firehouse first is very beneficial. They almost always have fire axes, and the fire axes are going to allow you to both have a strong melee attack and chop down trees at your convenience. And the fire axes can be repaired with only a couple pieces of metal scrap, which you're going to have after scavenging in the city and destroying stuff anyway. So that's something worth mentioning. As you can see, I also made the wooden bow. Having a silent weapon is really handy to have early on in the game. Later on in the game too, honestly, I use the bow pretty much throughout my gaming experience, because sometimes I want to kill a zombie without attracting all the other zombies. You might run out of other ammunition, and the arrows are fairly easy to make. All it takes is a few nails and a stick, I think, or a couple of sticks. So those are some tips for beginning off what you want to craft to begin with. Another thing that you want to craft early on is the saw, which all it takes is a couple of metal scraps to make. Let's see here. I believe it's under tools. Yeah. All right. I'm sorry, the saw takes 2 metal sheets, and each metal sheet takes 2 metal scraps. So once you have 4 metal scraps, you'll be able to make yourself a saw. What the saw is going to do for you is break down planks into sticks and break down logs into planks. When you chop down trees, you're going to get more logs than anything else, so this is going to greatly increase your efficiency as far as that goes. Finally, we're going to take a look at base building, the second aspect of crafting. So we've already crafted the components that we're going to make out of logs, etc. Bring up the inventory here. Now it's worth mentioning that putting things in your hands on this game is a little bit different. It doesn't really have an easy quick slot option, so you can either click and drop onto your little character in the portrait there, or you can right click on the item in your inventory and click equip, and it'll do the same thing. So we're going to put this floor down, try to keep it relatively even here. It's not snapping in place. I think it's because I have different material. That should be fun. Alright. Nice flat floor down here. Now in order to put up a wall or a window frame or a door frame, you need to have 2 posts, or 2 pillars I should say, to put them in between. So we're going to go ahead and grab a pillar, and you'll see that the only place it goes is snaps onto the corner there. Alright, and then we'll throw a wall in, and bam, we've got a wall. And you'll see that we can't put the wall down on these sides because we don't have a pillar down yet. Grab another pillar, throw it down there. The pillars are different colors. I'm a terrible craftsperson. That's okay. Alright. There we go. Now I've got a nice little wing. Well, I haven't made the roof yet, but oh yes I have. Got a nice little wing added onto the house here, and as you saw, there's really nothing to it. It's very simple, very easy to do. Just chop down some trees, get some logs, and get to crafting. So that'll wrap up the crafting tutorial and the skill tutorial for our second video here in Unturned. The next video, which will come out on Friday, is probably going to be some combat tactics, and maybe we'll get some farming in as well, so you can see how to plant seeds and the ways that you can make that more efficient. So thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and have a great day.